last question I'm going to ask before we get to this. The last question. Okay, here we go. Qualify shame. Should I feel shame if I cannot afford to live in San Francisco?
Well, the conspiracy, as we sub-geniuses call it, would have you feel shame for not mounting to the top of the capitalistic shit pile. But, you know, this entire thing of San Francisco being too dear a place to live in is an artificial construct from realtors and others who are guilty of crimes against humanity. And I will tell you that when I first came to San Francisco, I paid a rent of $60 a month. Then I moved, and of course I had to pay a rent of $75 a month. How outrageous, I thought. Then I moved again. It was $150 a month for years. But you see a pattern coming here. And now, well, I'm not going to tell you what I pay now, but I'm trapped forever by rent control. We can't, until they evict us, and they're trying, believe me, because our rent is so low. When you stay there for a long, long time, then you can...
If you knew what his rent was, you'd never put another dollar in that envelope.
Yeah, but I still have trouble paying, ladies and gentlemen, since I actually haven't had a job for years. Anyway, this is all by board, but it should still be that you could come in and plop down $60 or whatever and live for a month. So says Ed Sanders in his book, Tales of Beatnik Glory. I recommend you read this 800-odd page tome, which is about how the beatniks and misfits in New York in the 50s and early 60s started a regime which, seen through the collapsing telephoto lens of history, is abutting right against our own time. We are still living their dream. And if there are cheap enough rents, 1 million layabouts, beatniks, hippies, and artists can be in your city and enrich it, and enrich its spiritual life. Once the rent begins to climb through the metaphoric and proverbial roof, all you get are bean counters, yuppies, and the irredeemably cruel and evil. And so the rent should be low, and I don't mind anyone knowing that I think so. And how does this relate to the question, or have I answered it? Yes, you should not feel shame. Rather, you should feel revolutionary fervor to throw down from their citadels of power these people who are, for the most part, absentee landlords who live outside the city, like, say, Taiwan, who are pulling the strings and making sure that you have to earn the space that you stretch your weary body out in by the sweat of your brow, in which there may be several drops of blood from the extreme strain that you are made artificially to undergo. Shame, rather you should feel pride that you are unable or unwilling to fit into a system which is eternally structured to hammer down the little guy. By George, it's un-American. And it's a pity that my congressional campaign came to nothing. Otherwise, I would be in the citadels of power, pulling some of the strings myself. Until something like that happens, fight the oppressor and off the pig and all that sort of thing. Thank you.
How about a shot of Fernet for that question?
I just got a shot from this equipment.
No one?
Nobody wants to get a shot of Fernet Branca. That means KrOb has to spill it down.
They have to go home early and they gotta wake up and go to work.
Oh dear, poor KrOb. He sacrifices so much for us all. He doesn't have the slack, so we can all have it. But at least he can enjoy some Fernet. Just don't touch the wires a little too
Cheryl.
innocently.
Cheryl?
There she is. But I don't know if she wants a drink of Fernet Branca, the
Do you
miracle liqueur distilled from beets. Cheryl, you've been picked for a unique thing which we call the KrOb moment. Now it's going to be your KrOb moment, Cheryl. We'll find out what
Have a
happens
couple melatonin.
when you come to the
Get a
Dr Hal
couple.
show.
Have a couple. Take the whole bottle. Again, it's natural. It's herbs.
We don't have any of the gas here or anything else.
You can drop it in there if you'd like.
Oh, well.
You can chop it up and snort it.
Bad enough as it is. We don't need the gas.
But drink that.
And as you drink it, you might wonder why this stuff was ever popular in the first place.
You know, no. This is just to look at. You don't have to
People like it for some reason.
So you've written a question here, and we're gonna ask the question now, and we're gonna help you. This is a complicated question, and we're gonna help you to understand the answer. Okay? We're gonna help you. The way that we're gonna help you to understand this answer is we're gonna just for a moment you're gonna go somewhere else, and in that place you're gonna be able to understand the answer. Now have a shot of Fernet here. Go ahead, it's okay. It's small. It's a small little thing right there. It's staring at you. It's looking at you. Come on, no. You can't stare down a shot of Fernet. It's gonna win every time.
All this malarkey on the side, folks. I'm sure Chicken has saved the best question from last. Her question
Just take a sip.
must be the
Just
one
have a sip.
that will
Go ahead and drink it. Go ahead. Go ahead. Take another sip. Because it's not any good.
I'll say entire show saved by her question. Oh look, Chicken's drinking it.
It is awful.
We've all drunk it.
Yeah,
We've all drunk it.
Come on, I did my part. I drank my thing.
Even Pete Goldie. And look, he's going to help you with your question.
Come on now. You have to go somewhere else or you're not going to understand.
Yes, is the KrOb.
This isn't peer pressure. This is something different.
We are enablers here.
Come on now.
Will drugs turn you on, or will drugs turn on you?
It's a herb. It can't hurt you. It's like pretty good. Yeah. You've done this before.
I think she may be ready, Chicken, for the KrOb moment.
Go ahead. She's holding it. Go ahead. That was the least pot smoking Can we get the smoke pot guy up here to show her how to smoke pot? Sit back there, sit back there.
Take gigantic drag.
Let me show you this man's gonna show you how to smoke pot. This is what it looks like when you smoke pot. Now look at that look on his face. See that? You try it. You can inhale. You can do it. This is performance art. By the way, me and you are involved in performance art right now.
It's medicinal.
You can't quit. There's no quitting.
I think this is as intoxicated as we're going to get this.
No. This girl's going to get way more intoxicated.
Very well, ladies.
There you go. Okay, just hold it. There you go. Okay. I'm going to show you how to operate this thing.
Breathe deeply of this mixture.
You pull the little trigger thing and you kind of
and you drink the gas.
And you drink the gas a little bit. It just lasts a second. But
it's laughing
it's
gas.
Important because we're going to answer your question.
And it's good for you.
Everybody's counting on you.
Yeah, that's right. It'll make you laugh and sing.
We'll do it together. Come on.
It'll make you dance and frisk and
Really? But you're not going to understand the answer.
Hand it over. I'll drink that gas.
Come on now. Come on. Me and you together.
I shall drink it for you.
This one is not cooperating.
This may be as much cooperation as we can get from this experimental subject.
Okay, here's my question. The question is, why is KrOb, why is Brian Hill such a fucking sociopath?
That's the question.
Why is Brian Hill such a fucking sociopath?
Early toilet training issues or childhood traumas, or with some genetic predisposition to not be fully socialized. But according to some, the intervention of the socializing people is not an extraordinary phenomenon.
It is hardwired into the reality of the subject. It couldn't escape.
It was written at the beginning of time.
No one can prophesy except that the cold and relentless fingers of death now choke my windpipe. But it is as it must be. We are as we are constructed. We cannot transcend our limitations unless we are willing to step outside ourselves
me to do, you can try it too. That's all I can suggest.
Boy,
That was awesome.
anyway, I hope that has been somewhat helpful. Remember, these answers are non-returnable, non-refundable.
Hey, thanks a lot for coming to our
Thank
stupid
you
show.
so much. It's been real.
Wow. There it was.
Shame on you, chicken, for making that nice girl take all those drugs and everything. Shame, shame. All right, and now,
Bye, guys.
Now everybody's leaving in droves. We better wind it up quick.